my first of all was to make people aware that this was happening. This morning, it was anyone that was on social media or anyone that was tuned into the radio or tuned into national television were told that this was going to happen this morning for 7 o'clock, and it did go ahead here. I suppose I'm here wearing, I suppose you could say, wearing from a political side of it, and being a fuel distributor myself for a number of years, I feel the frustration on both sides. I feel the frustration maybe people trying to get to work today and maybe this evening trying to get home from work again, but I also feel the frustration of the contractors. And I suppose not just the contractors, it's people with home heating oil, it's the people with the bus, it's even down to the person that does a bit of home help for some elderly person that lives out alone. The cost of them being able to do business is spiraling out of control, and there's definitely measures that needs to be called on board here. And I'm hoping that the government will sit down during the week, whatever few of them, through whatever system that they have, they need to be called in and have a look and see and come up with some kind of calculated measure to deal with this once and for all, and probably maybe even backdate it, because it's huge costs nowadays for the people to get work done. The year's been bad so far. There's been contracting work has been slow. There's no story out yet. We'll be heading into the silage season shortly, and all this is all expensive work, and it's all fuel driven, and it's unfortunately the costs are going to expire, and who's going to pay for the farmers? Will it be passed on to the farmers? You see yourself in your own car. The expense has just gone out to the roof, and something needs to be, the diesel needs to be kept once and for all.
And before we get into the measures that should be considered, Alan, was this the right way to go about it? Obviously, as we mentioned there at the outset, the roads in County Clare, the M18, the N18, even around Ennis, the N85 bypass out towards the Hinch Road, routes that weren't even part of the official protest were completely blocked off by trucks, by lorries, by tractors. Huge inconvenience caused to people going about their daily business, trying to get to or from work, trying to collect kids from daycare, this type of thing. Was this the right approach?
Well, I suppose this is the measures this is the frustration that these people came up with for a finish, and this is what they decided to do. And I would be an air of caution to the government if they don't sit down and come up with some measure or start talking to these people. There could be one this day week, and then you have kids going back to school. There's no kids at school at the minute. There's no secondary school. There's no buses bringing kids and to and from school and all that kind of thing. They're all off school this week, and something needs to be addressed here. They need to come up and sit down and actually take this seriously for a change and say, okay, what measures do we need to put in place here?
And you've mentioned the government a couple of times there, Alan. It's not lost on us, and it won't be lost on our listeners, that you're a member of a government party. Are you disappointed in how the government has responded to this crisis so far?
I am. I'm a small bit disappointed on the way, like, they did step in originally and deal with the Road Haulers Association, and fair play to them, they got a deal done. Unfortunately, I know I will say, coming from a government side, I do see where they're at the minute with the rising costs every day. We had a meeting here on Thursday evening. I met with a group of contractors and there's TDs and stuff here. And that night the fuel got 17 cents. It went up 17 cents, and that hasn't been passed on to the pumps yet. Mm-hmm. That increased. There was no trading on Friday because it was Good Friday, and there was no trading on Monday, which is the bank holiday Monday. When I started this, and I'm an oil distributor, I don't know, nearly 20 years now. But when I started first, you got your price of a Wednesday and you got your price of a Friday. So your price of a Friday, that was you were going to pay no more until the following Wednesday again. Mm-hmm. Now it's nearly hour by hour. Mm-hmm. It's day trading every day. It's on the stock market. It's day trading every day. But as at the minute, it's nearly hour by hour. So that's the way that this fuel has gone at the minute. Mm-hmm. And jumps of 17 cents, like, and that hasn't been passed on. I was just looking at the forecast Tuesday evening here, but I'm here at the plaza, and it's showing no decrease, like. None whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So that's 17 cents plus the VAT. That's all ex-VAT now. That has all to be included, yes. I'm just talking I was just talking to some of the bus guys here today, like, they can't get the VAT back off the fuel. They're VAT exempt. So they're paying full whack for the fuel. Now, they're probably offset against their expenses and stuff like that, but still, like, so there's no rebate for them either, because they're They're not on the Road Haulers Association. So it's very challenging times, I think, going forward, and people don't realise.
So when we talk about those measures, Alan, those measures that you're seeking, what are you looking for? Obviously, a reduction or a scrapping altogether of the carbon tax has been proposed by some. Excise duty as well, cuts on that. Perhaps one-off payments, credits. What are you seeking?
I think like the carbon tax is not huge on agricultural diesel and heating and stuff like that, but I think it just needs to be kept at the minute, kept because of the way we just don't know. We just don't know abroad in Iran with this war what way fuel is going to go, and is it going to go scarce? Is another problem. And you see, the contractors don't really know. Like, they have facilities to be able to store a bit of fuel, so they don't know, do we buy it in now? Or do we wait? Or is it going to go short? Or is it going to go scarce? Is there going to be a cap in it? Is there going to be a rebate? There really are in no man's land at the minute as to where this fuel is going. And that's the uncertainty of it. If you knew today that this is the price until September, October, November, whenever it was going to be, then you can set your targets accordingly, and you could get your fuel in, or you could decide, well, okay, I'm going to start stocking up in a bit of fuel in the event if it goes scarce, as I have. Because no matter what price it is, if fuel goes scarce, they won't be able to do the work anyway, But it's just all that uncertainty at the minute, and it's scary. And the weather is, I think the weather is not really favourable either, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done yet. The slurry needs to be done, and there's a big hold up in that. And it's no difference to Clare County Council. Bitumen is included. An email went out the 1st of April. Concrete products, they're all going up. So everything is up and up. Our mortgage rate's going to be hit. Like, there's people selling schemes of houses at the minute, right? And they haven't even started the house. So they probably won't even know what the house is even going to cost. The builders won't even know what it's going to cost, because they don't know. Like a very small thing, like a box of nails could go up 20 or 25 euros, and like everything is going up in percentage-wise, it's going up in big jumps. It's not 1 or 2 or 3%, it's 10, 12, 15% all the time.
And what's the role of the government in that, in your view, Alan? Would you like to see more assistance for the average person, as well as the farmers and hauliers that we're talking about?
Well, we're very good, and as a country, we're very good for humanitarian aid to other countries where something was created by man-made. And this is a man-made issue created by people that we don't really have any influence on. This is a man-made issue, and we've no problem going back in the time. And rightly so, we helped out other countries in the past. We've put money into Ukraine. Now, let's look after our own people here at home now for a change, and help the people that's keeping this country going, that's working and paying their taxes and keeping everything afloat. Now is the time to step in and put in humanitarian aid into our own country for a change.
If we don't see the desired action, the desired results on the government side from this protest today, Alan, would you like to see an escalation or a continuation of what we saw today?
Don't really know yet, because at the end of the day, like, people here in Clare are doing their best without trying to put too much people to an inconvenience. They did try and look after people as best they can. There was lads there with motorbikes, and they were escorting people out. They were, if they needed to get here or there or whatever. But like, when we start blocking up Dublin City and Cork City and the bigger cities and stuff like that, when they start get disjointed and stuff like that, and I think if there's some bit of action done by the end of the week, or something on the table, this could happen Monday or Tuesday next week, and you're going to have 50 or 60,000 more people on the road of a morning, with kids going to school and going to secondary school and stuff like that. And then it's really going to hit the fan,